Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I'm George Mihalchik, and I am the program coordinator for the Recognize Good Legends program. And we are pleased to be here on this first day of December 2015 here at the Texas School for the Blind and the Visually Impaired to honor a very special individual. This lady is our 9th legend for 2015, and this is our 54th ceremony. Let's have a round of applause for Miss Patti Robbins. We have a number of VIPs that I need to introduce. First off, we have Patti. We have Mary Sue Welch from All Blind Children of Texas. We have Mr. Bill Doherty, who is going to be our presenter. We have a past legend, and if you can look real close, you can see his picture right here. That is Mr. Will Williams. Will made this day necessary by submitting the nomination. We have Mr. Carl Melman to say a few words. Mr. Jim Overton will say a few words. And did I miss anybody? I don't think so. So let's get into talking about Recognize Good, what it does, and we'll have some people come up and talk to us and tell us about Patti, give us some insights into what makes her special and what makes her tick. Be careful what you say because she has the final rebuttal near the end. Then we'll have some gifts we need to give to her, then we'll hear from Patti. But we started Recognize Good back in the previous decade. When I'm 65 years old, that sounds like a long time ago. But we wanted to find a way for folks to say thanks to others for the good things they do. Say thanks to your friends, your family, your acquaintances. And so we started a website called recognizegood.org where you can say thanks on the internet for folks who have done great things. And we saw a number of thank yous come through that stood above the rest. And we figured out we need to have a way to recognize those people. And so we started what we called the Recognize Good Legends program. And you can see from our first 50 ceremonies, these are pictures of all the legends. These folks epitomize our purpose. If you look over here at this graphic, we have Recognize Good. Our purpose is to illuminate the good that we see in our everyday lives. And each one of our legends in their everyday lives do extraordinary things. But our Legends program is not the only thing that we use to illuminate good. You take a look at some of the other programs we have, the Ethics in Youth Education. We go to talk with various high school students about ethics, what ethics means to them, what ethics can do for them if they talk about ethics in their resumes for colleges and job applications. We also have what we call the Lighthouse Award. The Lighthouse Award is an award given by Recognize Good to civic organizations such as the Downtown Founders Lions Club. I think we have a few reps here from there, right? Okay, very good. And we recognize them for the service that they've done. For the Downtown Lions Club, their service has been over 100 years, if I remember correctly. Service to the community. And in that organization's name, we make a donation to the Personal Energy Transportation Foundation. And these folks in Personal Energy Transportation build PETs. Those are 3-wheeled vehicles with hand cranks that we ship to people in third world nations who have lost the use of their legs. We also have our Ethics in Business and Community Awards luncheon, and that's where we recognize outstanding individuals for their contributions in ethics. We recognize a small business, a large business, and also a nonprofit. So that's a little bit about what Recognize Good does. And that brings it back to the legends. This is one area where we recognize an individual, in this case Patti, who in her everyday existence, doing what she does every day, does wonderful things. And so what I'm going to do now is ask various people to come up and tell us about what makes Patti special. Will, we will start with you.
Do I have to use this?
No.
Okay. I'm sure everybody can hear me. I'm first starting. I talk pretty loud most of the time. I talk all the time. First of all, I wanna thank everybody for coming out to recognize Patti, who I think is one of the most amazing people I've ever met before in my life. The next thing I want to say is I am a Lion. So I'm here with the Lions Club also. So I want to make sure that I give a shout out to them.
Is there anything you don't do?
Well, I think maybe 14, 15 organizations, so
Okay.
we get around a little bit. But Patti, I was thinking about Patti on the way here. A long time ago, my mother, who's 95 now, adopted me. And she's very, very religious. And she was telling me, I asked her, is there angels on earth? And she started telling me about angels. And of course, you know, being a kid and just getting in the family, I didn't understand what she was talking about. I met Patti and I understand what she's talking about. You know, an angel is a person that's here who's willing to help others no matter what it takes. And then I got a little confused when I was driving on the way here because, you know, being a veteran, we talk about a warrior's heart. And Patti has a warrior's heart. She'll fight for these kids. I've never seen nobody that will fight so hard for these kids. About 3 years ago, I was speaking, and a week later, I received an email from a lady named Patti. And she wanted to know, I was volunteering at School for the Deaf. And she wanted to know why I didn't love the kids at School for the Blind. And she invited me to a spaghetti dinner. And that was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen before in my life. And I have been hooked ever since. The Leos, who I see one standing in the back. I see some more over there. Most amazing people I have ever met in my life. To tell you how amazing they are, how amazing Patti is. At the time that Patti asked me if I would work with the Leos, I was so swamped. I was in, I don't know, maybe 16, 17 organizations. And I backed out of 3 of the organizations so I could work with the Leos. That's how impressed I was with Patti and the Leos. Patti, you know, at some of the other schools that I've been to, most teachers get off at 3:30. And 3:45, they'll run over you. They're trying to get home. Seriously, I volunteered at a lot of different schools. 9 o'clock at night, I've seen Patti and some of her friends here helping. It's way past 3:30. Way past 3:30. And then I've tried to leave at 8:30 and Patti's asked me, where are you going? So believe me, I know firsthand about Patti Ross. She is, I'm honored to call her my friend. I've never thought that I would meet her, and I did 3 years ago. So that's all I got to say.
Thanks, Paul. And I wanted to have Will come up first because he's a very special person. We recognized Will as a legend a couple of years ago for his work with Water for Africa, and that is an ongoing effort. But you have to ask yourself, well, how did Will get to be a legend? How did Patti get to be a legend? Well, somebody nominated her, that was Will, and then we looked at the nomination and said, yep, this is good. And then we sent the nominations to other legends, including Will. And the legends looked at those and they said, this is the person we want to invite into this community. So Patti, you were not selected by me or by Joel or by the Recognized Good folks. You were selected by now your peers, our other legends. So. Our next speaker is a vice president with the Downtown Founders Club for Lions, and he wants to give us some more insight into the work of the Lions Club. Mr. Jim Overton.
Thank you. Well, I haven't known Patti, I guess, about 5 years, and as a member of the Lions Club, I'm delighted that y'all have recognized her for her achievements. When you talk about selfless volunteers, Patti is indeed a selfless volunteer. She's been a very strong supporter for the blind and visually impaired campus here in our programs. She actively works with the Lions on ways to contribute to this campus, the Leo's Club. And I didn't realize you started the first Leo's Club. Here, I didn't realize that was the first Leo's Club on a blind campus. I think that is a highly commendable, and I know it's been very successful, and the things that y'all have done and that you partnered with us on has just been really incredible, and we know that it's going to continue to be more successful. As far as being a Lions member, Patti, how long have you been a Lion? 18 years. Well, I know in my 5 years, I know that you were previously a president of the club. You've served on the board a number of times. You're currently on the board. And you've been, in any nonprofit or any organization, you have members who are members, and you have members who are active working members. And I'm pleased to say Patti is a very active working member as far as my observations over the last 5 years. And it's her attitude and her work ethic is a great compliment to our club. And on behalf of the club, as I said, I'm very glad to see you get recognized for your work and your volunteer efforts. And I'm honored for our club that you're a member of it and that you're such an active member. And I sincerely hope that you will continue to be that active, because we need more volunteers who will put in the extra effort. As Will had said, I think you go the extra mile, and you have gone the extra mile not only for the school here but also for the Lions Club. So on the short time I've known you, thank you for your contributions, and I look forward to continuing to work with you.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Our next speaker is a friend of Patti's, and I'm getting to.
And I'm not a friend.
Oh, no, you're the VP, so you have to tell her what to do, right? And then she tells you what should happen. Our next speaker has been described to me as a friend of Patti's, and I think everybody in here is your friend. This gentleman is a successful businessman, a great career in business, a senior partner and advisor to the company.
Commerce Business Advisor.
Commerce Business, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Carl Mellon.
Good afternoon, everybody. George, you may have to give me the 5 or 10 or 15 minute signal to sit down, because I have a lot of wonderful things to say about Patti. So
I'll let Lily do that.
What's that?
I'll let Lily.
Oh, or Lily, okay. All right. First of all, full disclosure, I'm a proud Lion as well. Peter Berardino is not here with us today, but he invited me into the club, so I'm very proud of that, and that's where I met Patti. Try to stay with me here. I'm gonna kind of try to get to the heart of I think why Patti is so special. So George mentioned that I'm a successful businessman, blah blah blah, but I'm more proud of the fact that I'm an ambassador for a personal development and educational company called 7 Mindsets. And the reason that that's important is the company 7 Mindsets conducted a multi-year, multi-million-dollar research study on the happiest, most successful people in the world. We studied 1,000 of them over a couple of years, and we found 7 common mindsets that they all had that empowered them to be that way. And I don't know anybody better than Patti that exhibits those 7 mindsets. And Patti is just an amazing leader, and she's so inspirational to me and to Will and to other people. And I'm just going to run through those 7 mindsets so you have a little peek into the window of why I think that Patti joins that 1,000 people of the most happy and successful in the world across history. The first one is everything is possible. And I think as I run through these, and I'm just gonna rattle them off, you'll recognize that Patti, resembles all of them. So everything is possible. The second one is passion first. Okay, they're pretty self-explanatory, right? Patti believes that nothing can get in her way, and she's the most incredible advocate for everybody here at the school, and special people like Tyrell and the Leo Club. And passion first, Patti leads, I think, every day when she gets up in the morning with the passion that she has to serve others. The third one is we are connected. Okay, we're all connected to each other. Treat others how you want to be treated. Number 4, 100% accountable. Patti's not one to look for excuses or worry about blame. And you take responsibility for the good stuff and the bad stuff, and you move on and you keep doing more good. Number 5, attitude of gratitude. I'm sure Patti has bad days like the rest of us, but you never know it because, she always seems like the happiest person in the world to me. Number 6, the time is now. Don't put off till tomorrow something good you can do today. And then number 7, and there's really no order to the mindsets, I kind of move this to number 7 for Patti's behalf, is live to give. Live to give. We found in our studies throughout history across the world that the most successful people in the universe across time gave when they didn't even have anything to give. They may not have had, $1 or a nickel, but they gave of their time and their energy and their spirit. And Patti gives every day, and that's clear. And, she's proud to give and to serve and to lead and to inspire. And I really appreciate her for doing all those things. We need more people like that in the world. So I'm going to try to wrap it up here. I want to mention that I think that, Patti is somebody that wakes up every day, and I think she impacts people's lives, and she actually changes the world every day. If you guys haven't watched General McRaven's commencement speech at UT in 2014 about making your bed in the morning and changing the world, you should watch it. But I think Patti is somebody that does that. And lastly, I am proudly the son of a rabbi, and so I've been studying good people my entire life. It was kind of incumbent on me. He was the principal of every school I went to until 9th grade, and I took that responsibility seriously. And as a matter of fact, I think the thing I'm most proud about my business career is that I made a commitment to change that saying about nice guys finishing last. And my motto has been nice guys finish first. And so I've led my whole career trying to be moral and ethical and being a good guy. And anyway, I've studied good people for 50 plus years now, and Patti's definitely at the top of the list. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl, for those wonderful words. It's a special day for Patti because we're going to honor her. But it does not stop here because we have a special event coming up in January and February, and it's called our Say Thanks Austin campaign. Our Say Thanks Austin campaign is where people from around the world can say thank you to Patti or any of the other legends we have at least once a day. We can say thanks once a day. We can use several different methods. Email, Twitter, a couple of others. But we'll get that information out to you. And starting in January, somewhere around January 6th or so, running for about 25 days, we are going to have our Say Thanks Austin campaign, Say Thanks voting capability open. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to support Patti by going to our website or using your Twitter account or your email account or your mobile phone to say thanks to Patti. The first 2 years we did this, we had about 4,500 thank yous from around the world. From England, from the African countries, from Asia, from Australia. The next year we went up to about 6,000. The following year we expanded. We had a couple of new folks come on with marketing. we went up to 63,000. And then last year, thanks to the efforts of folks like Joel Kaufman, we had over 173,000 thank yous come in for our legends. And so Patty's going to be part of that competition. And what does that get for all blind children? Well, if Patti gets the most thank yous, we will make that paid forward donation of $10,000 to all blind children. And so we'll be in contact with Patti and with the school and with Mary Sue to generate the avenues to get folks to say thank you. Now, our last speaker, I guess I can say I'm saving the best for last, right, Carl?
Absolutely.
Lily? Okay. Miss Lily Gilligan, and I have to say she has been the president of the Downtown Lions, Downtown Founders.
Founder Lions Club, yes.
Yes, and so she has a few things she wants to tell us.
Well, I've known Patti since I joined the Downtown Founders Lions Club. And when I first met her, I thought, how can a 16-year-old be a lion? Well, she's a very, very good lion. Jim has told you so much about what Patti has done, but what I want to talk about is what she's done with the Leo Club. It is the first club, Leo Club, that was organized for the blind and visually impaired. What he didn't say, it's the only one in the world, is right here in this school, and Patti has made it a success. And Tommy Cowan and I were with her because we got roped on to being on the board. We didn't know what we were getting into, but we found it was a great organization to belong to, and the fact that Patti took it and has made these kids do things in the community where they are a part of the community. They don't stand off to the side and afraid to talk to people or be involved. You want to see them paint a wall, come to the camp when we go in the spring. They'll paint that wall all the way for you. You want to see them do projects for their community, gathering food, making spaghetti suppers, doing tamales, you name it, they go out and do it. And they do it all year long. They do more work than the Downtown Founders Lions Club does. And we're proud to have them, and we try to encourage them to keep going. We will support them in anything they want to do. And it's all because Patti has made it possible. And I don't think you could have picked a better person for this. And our lovely lady over here, Terry, is going to make sure Lions International starts voting as soon as it's available, so we can have the whole world voting for Patti and making her a part of it. Patti, we love you and congratulations, and just keep it up, okay?
Thank you. And now I asked Mr. Bill Doherty to come forward. Bill has taken time out of his calendar to be with us today, and you have a few words to say before we start making some presentations.
I do, George. Thank you. You know, I've known Patti for 35 years, and I did a little math on that, so I met her when I was 28 years old. I did. And I turned, in the ensuing years, turned into an old man, and she's still this young, vivacious woman who is so full of energy, and everybody is just drawn to her. When she first came to me with the idea of establishing a Leo's Club here at the school, I was very skeptical about it. I had been a Lion for 14 years in Kansas, and I'd seen Leo clubs kind of come and go. And I knew what you needed to make it work was a very persistent, a very consistent, and a very much of a champion who would really get behind this, but who was also someone who was a kid magnet. And you have to have all of those things in order to make a Leo's Club work. Those to me are the basics. And she has so exceeded that in so many ways. The students are drawn into her and drawn into the fun that she brings to her public service. And then once the kids get in and they start doing service, what you've heard today from all of our speakers about the value of service and how it enriches your own life, it's so great to have students who are doing that early on. All of us here that work at TSBVI, as someone said earlier, all call Patti our friend. She does a fabulous job for us, and she's just this bright spot within our organization that is always shining, and I'm so glad to have that light shining on her today. George, are you ready to do these presentations?
I certainly am.
Okay.
For this next segment, Will, please join us. Patty, if you would, and Mary Sue will call you up in just a few moments. Right over on that side.
Both of you over here.
The first item we have goes to Will because he nominated Patty. This is a soup mug. I know you don't have one yet, right?
Oh.
You have at least 3. Will has been active with Recognized Good for a number of years. But also, there is a $100 Target gift card in there for Will.
Will. We're all going to Target.
You have to split that about 17 different ways. And the same for Patty, our soup mug, with a gift card. This next item is our Book of Good Deeds. It has the nomination that Will wrote. It has pictures of Patty. It has information about the Recognized Good program. And it has, near the end, Will, if you'd show the blank pages, the blank ones, because she can put additional pictures in there.
This is very nice.
Especially the gift card.
I tried.
I think it's signed for that. This next item is a bromeliad, and we started this with our very first legend. It is a living token for remembering this day. So Patty, you can take that home with you. And for the next part, Mary Sue, if you would join us up here.
I'll hold that for you.
So you can write them down here. This is the giant. That's right here.
Oh, I want to give it to
Okay, this is our presentation check that Patty will give to Mary Sue. And it's made out to all blind children of Texas. And now Patty and Mary Sue can figure out where they would like to proudly display that. This last item is the negotiable check for $1,000 to be deposited in the account of all blind children of Texas. And we'll have some official photos later on. Please take your seats, except for Patty.
I want to say something.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Mary Sue needs to say something.
Okay. On behalf of all blind children of Texas and our board, we are pleased to accept this wonderful donation of $1,000. You have no idea what wonderful things $1,000 can do for blind children in the state of Texas. Not very long ago, we had a request for $140 for several school districts in the valley to get together with their blind students. The blind students had never, in some cases, even known another blind person. But here they were together at this luncheon that cost us all of $140. And on that day, these children met someone who was like them, and they got information about how to keep in touch with each other. And one of those kids who had always wanted to come to a summer program at school was able to do that. He didn't want to fly alone, but now he had a buddy, and he had someone to be with. So we are very grateful for this check. And I'm a little upset with Will because he kind of stole my thunder. What I want to say is that there are angels among us. And Patti is one doing angelic things every single day for our kids and for the world in general. And I'm so glad to know you.
Okay, thank you, Mary Sue. Certainly appreciate that.
Oh, let's give it to Gloria. She wants to be in charge.
Gloria likes big checks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And of course, you know, if you feel that Will has stolen your thunder, I have membership cards to hand out because Will likes to say a lot of things. So Patti, over to you.
Thank you. Well, All Blind Children of Texas is a wonderful organization. There are probably upwards of 9,000 children that are blind or visually impaired that are going to school in the state of Texas. So this is an important donation to that organization. And I'm hoping that we can donate more. So with your help, then we'll do that. So your help, your family, your friends, and all of Lions International, we can make a bigger impact to all blind children. And I did want to rebut, I don't get up out of bed and make it in the morning. That's just crazy. That's time for that. And I want to thank you all for the wonderful things that you said about me. And it's just wonderful to have you. Thank you so much.